Hello everyone, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm Gig-Tigz, husband, father, streamer, legend, and we're back playing more Pillars of Eternity today. Before we start playing, you might notice something over here. We've taken Mass Effect 3 off the to-do list, and we've added it to the game's finish list. We finished Mass Effect 3 on stream last week. And don't forget to, if you want to see me play those games, join the crew live at twitch.tv/gig_tigz, not hyphen, underscore. Now, today, we are in Defiance Bay, just rolling up some quests. So we arrived, we were underneath the Temple of Wodica, we found the Inner Sanctum, spoke to the Acolyte, managed to trick the Acolyte into thinking we were a member of the Leaden Key, which is this awakening cult or whatever. And so yeah, we're in Defiance Bay, and we have a bunch of different side quests to do, as well as a couple main quests. So that's what we're going to be doing. And so we're just going to hop straight into it. Right, so these are the quests I've got at the moment. So these are all the main quests. So I need to travel to Direford Village. I need to enter the tower in Heritage Hill, and I need to go to the head warden at Brackenbury Sanitarium. The other ones, there was someone said something. Was it an NPC when I walked past them said something about soul experts being in the city, so I'm gonna look around for that. And that one, I believe, Crucible Knights are in First Fires, if I remember correctly. So yeah, we're just gonna try and knock out some quests. So Brackenbury's right here. So let's just start and go straight there. What do I do with the rest? Giggly is health. What did Giggly lose health with? Oh, the mercenaries in what's his face's house. Right, so we go to Brackenbury. Oh, a whole 12 minutes? Fuck. It's an interesting show, that's all I can really say. The charred barrel is the finest inn in the city, building for lodging. Check out the map. Raymond Manor, the charred barrel. House Donomanel, First Fires, the Sanitarium, Ondra's Gift, and Hadrit House. Right, so we're going to the Sanitarium, so let's go. So I've also realized that you know those memorial things we see everywhere, and these characters we see everywhere. These are backers for the game, and I think that is sick. Nothing unusual goes on in the sanitarium. Oh yeah, fucking that never. One place that things never are weird. A sanitarium. Animator. There are too many variables,
Welcome.
hey? The woman stands in the shade of the garden, muttering to herself. She's fixated on the pages of a large and well-worn tome, seemingly oblivious to the blooming flowers and the cool, fragrant breeze. She only looks up when your shadow crosses the page. Do you mind? I'm rather busy. What are you so busy with? She snaps her book shut. I'm studying soul attachment. We all know that souls move into people at birth and out of them at death, but we still have a lot of questions about what makes them stick, so to speak. What do you mean by making them stick? She brushes a stray lock from her forehead. Souls power bodies and give their tissues life, only when they're firmly attached. It's separation that leads to a whole spate of soul-related ailments, including the Hollowborn. But if we understood how to reattach souls, we could end Waydwin's legacy, maybe even conquer death. She scratches behind her ear. That's the theory, anyway. Unfortunately, I don't have all the research I need to put into practice. What exactly do you need? There's a manuscript called The Theorems of Pangram. It contains research from Pangram's experiments on detached souls. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rumored to have a copy in the Elder Archives. Pangram's work is considered to be one of the more daring animancy texts, not something generally circulated amongst novices, nor easy to get hold of. I wonder if we might have a peek at it. The theorems could advance my research by leaps and bounds, but Grimda, the High Archivist, worships Whale, which means she has some paradoxical views on sharing and restricting knowledge. And since she's not exactly a proponent of animancy, she tends to restrict that kind of information that will be useful to me. Maybe she could be persuaded. You're welcome to try, but you wouldn't be the first. Look at me spilling my troubles. It's kind of you to listen, but I should really get back to my work. Anything else? Tell me about yourself. I'm an animator. William's legacy. Yes, this is the Hollowborn. I'll leave you alone. I imagine the sanitarium might have an expert on souls as well, so you might be in the right spot, hey? And I'm sure nothing suspicious is going to be happening here at all. Oh, you've got a name. Oh, you're a soul person. A well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man sides over the room, looking down unblinking over the bustle of harried academics, tested by the hopeful, desperate. A strong warmth emanates from it that you could sense from across the room. There is a human soul stored beneath the stonework. You feel its attention turned towards you. It has been some time since a watcher graced these halls. His voice echoes deeply, rumbling the floor beneath you. I am envious of your natural insights, traveler. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work in life. Now, what is it that brought you to my sanitarium? Does anyone here? Okay, first off, I'm going to ask about awakenings for for Aloth. There's an animator on the lower floor who came all the way from Review to study them. Take it the stairs and look for Bella Siege. I am curious how you ended up in your present state. In the statue, you mean? Well, I was old, and it seemed wrong to me. A lifetime spent in pursuit of discovery, willing to lose it all in death. Somewhere, someday, I would wake up in a new body, none the wiser, and pursue a different course entirely. All that experience wasted. If we are to ever unearth the principles behind our existence, it will be in spite of our condition. Of that, I am quite sure. To live on as part of something I helped build seemed to me a better legacy than what nature had in store. The transfer itself was quite simple as our techniques go, and for that I am grateful. Playing with souls is far easier to accept when they are not your own. I do miss being able to take an active role in the scholarly efforts here. Now and again, one of our animators will humor me and consult over some problem, but they are a jealous breed and too often afraid to collaborate. If you are considerate yourself, I can tell you that it isn't for the easily bored. You may have a member of the Leaden Key in your midst. I could have done without hearing that today. Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they've meddled or whether calamity has struck on its own, but a few of the less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I'm reminded how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect there would be some use in verifying one's identity. You're at odds with the Leaden Key, I take it. They are up to something, and I'm trying to determine what. They are always up to something, of that you may rest assured. If their plots have come to involve you, you have my sympathies. Do you have some idea of who the person might be? It would be unwise to consider anyone above suspicion. Very well, in that case, I would recommend you speak first with our resident animators. We have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them up here or in their offices downstairs. You report anything suspicious to me immediately. That is my only request. Fare thee well. Right, so this person downstairs can help us with your soul problem, buddy. You're one of those. Is it stealing? It's not stealing. Ah, sorry to say, your books are worth money. Unfortunately, I kind of need as much money as possible at all times, so I take as much as I can. And as much as I can means every book I see. Right, so downstairs. Okay. Okay, we didn't look in here. So there might be someone in here. Worst comes to worst, even if there's not. Oh, oh. Something going on, something going on, something going on. No? Nothing I can interact with? Bro's got a soul trauma. We'd love that for you. He said, go check downstairs. Is there an upstairs, perhaps? An upstairs would be just as productive. Yeah, it's taking all their books. I don't trust reading. I'm free to browse, thank you. Am I also free to sell these books off to the first merchant I see? Just a thought. Alrighty. Creepy noises, bunch of offices, we love that.
Good day to you.
Belsage. Ah. A woman paces back and forth, her feet crunching on the soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself, shaking her head as she pores over pages of notes. She almost walks into you. Ikosi, here I am, looking so hard for answers in my research that I do not see the kid standing in front of me. What can I do? First off, have you seen anything weird? It's rare for me to notice things that do not relate to my work, even when they are in front of me. Sientra Aimika, but I'm not the best choice to help you with that. Something else you need. I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. Ah, that would be me. Though the lack of research subjects has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer Anamanti's success in buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those souls that were awakened. I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It's a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. You're in luck. I have a volunteer. Galad, who is it? I don't know about this. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you must do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon. I jest. You are daring the so uptight. I do not even know what that thing is used for. It belonged to the last occupant of this office, I think. They upgrade him to a cell. Again, I jest. So, I need you to sit here and try to relax, but don't try too hard. Then you will not be relaxing. Indeed, his eyes are humorless. You must also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. Anamanta fastens thick copper bands to Aloth's forehead and wrists. As she ratchets them tighter, his face twists with suppressed irritation. Now I will examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long chambered tube, knobs, dial, and small toothed wheels run along the side of the device. It is fitted with Adra lenses cut to different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. How exciting! I've never seen this sort of thing performed. It seems suitably complicated. But first, find this cunning interloper who will answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Don't worry, I'm sure we won't hear any of it. Very well. To begin, tell me something personal, something from a time before your awakening. Ooh, background. We love lore. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal child living in the Synthwood. Talk about your parents. As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the mists of his own memory. Belisage doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are smoothing his essence, untangling its many threads. Oh, some new Watcher shit? He closes his eyes. Mother is away most of the time with the Thane's family, but I always know when she's coming home. Father's boils accumulate like storm clouds on the horizon. His fits of temper become swifter and more violent. It still shames him knowing that her heimneg to another man supports us better than his labors as a steward. This is good. I'm starting to see something continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. I am in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little, because when she is around, he is usually only angry with her. He has heard that I have had trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He is furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I'm sweeping the kitchen, the next I'm sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots, glistening with fresh polish, thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach, and I curl up to shield my vitals. But it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen, my own trembling knees, is nothing but a pinprick against a field of black. Maricho, he's hypnotized himself with his old memory. You've got to bring him out of it quickly. I almost have it. You're safe. Everything's fine. He's near safe when I hap upon him. That's it. I'm seeing a shift in his essence. Something spreading and congealing. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices high and higher. That warm molasses feeling that creeps down when your gut Your gut when crisis is nigh. We have flares of totally distinct essence. Now try to get the two of them talking. Islamir, tell Aloth why you've awakened. Fie, he's the one who needed me, hiding in his own bone bag like a turtle in its shell. I never turned it over to you. Good, yes, very good. I can see two separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened souls fill the spaces that he leaves empty. Aloth, what's this about ceding space to Islamir? Oh wait, shit. Oh well. Nine more than I'm giving. You should ask what I did that old man of his, how the last time he laid a hand on us, I break it in three places. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. Now he was awakening, but now I'm stuck with you, and damned if I let your Ninian drag us both through the scabber. Ah, very good. I think I finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Islamir's essence throughout the exchange. She had a particularly high density index during the most heated portions of their argument, and her essence seemed to localize most clearly in the subject of the lower portion of the subject's left rib cage. That's right around the spleen, which of course means that she is triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. Aloth blinks back at you, and in the midst of his perspirations, you're not quite sure who's looking out of his eyes. It's utter horseshit. It does seem as though she's got one thing right. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation? You're close. I think Esmer's appearances are related to potential sources of trouble for Aloth. I suppose that could be true. I'll have to check this against other research. Well, and good for you, but what does that mean for me? Bella Sage frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill and making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing glance at you over the pages. She did favor dealing with your father, didn't she? I think she's trying to help you stand up for yourself. You may not like her methods, but you should hear her out. Ismay tries to take control from what she thinks you can't face a problem on your own. You can't let her make these decisions for you. It seems that Ismay's steps, in which she determines you're in danger, it's not clear yet whether this is helpful or a hindrance. Maybe he should hear her out. If you had to listen to her half as much later, you wouldn't say that. I've got a lot to process. Regardless, thank you for your help, Gigliana. Well, well, well. I hope this has been useful to you as it has to me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of review. Ventre, Aloth. Aye, advancing the right-wise principles of animancy. Just what you've always wanted. As you turn to leave, you catch a darting movement out of the corner of your eye. Belisage is coming to herself, still occupied with her scope. Aloth is holding her notes. He's just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds his fingers to his lips, his eyes wide and imploring. Please, I don't want my personal information public like this, especially not after her nonsense. No, you get your explanation, and she gets her research. That was the deal. I'm not going to help you explain this one, Scholar Boy. Yeah, wouldn't. The man who waits. Which one was that? Question the animances. Right, okay. So, cool. So that one's done for now. Cool. So White March is the DLC, so I'm not going to do that yet. But we are going to keep talking to animancers and just hope for the best. No one in here. Claw marks, we love that. This door's already open, so that's immediately suspicious to me. Yeah, pick the lock.
The work of a moment.
Is it stealing? It's not stealing. Oh, the pale lady. Oh, this is this is patient records. Subject is female, mid-40s, awakened to a past life as a serial murderer, which now frequently emerges as the soul's dominant personality. Subject vacillates between violence and severe depression, resulting from guilt of past deeds. Weak candidate for present research. I don't know why, but I'm going to take these. Ram. Subject is male, approximately early 30s, powers of speech absent, presumably as a result of the overfragmentation of his soul. As such, he is the ideal subject for present research. However, experimentation has caused severe pain and induced panic, and I have had to enlist the aid of the guards in transporting him for more recent procedures. Oh, it sounds like bad stuff. Midnight Man. Subject is male, mid-20s, displays acute dissociation and paranoid delusional tendencies, causing anger and extreme violence. Dangers of working with the subject prelude possibility of further use in present research. I get a feeling I'm going to have to fight these people. Let's put in. Subject is a male, approximately 17 years of age, admitted for episodes of catatonia followed by occasional violent outbursts. Initial analysis of soul revealed severe fragmentation and essence deficiency. Said deficiency all but eliminates the possibility of utilizing the subject in present research. Thank you. I will take these notes gladly. Talk to the Ethel about Azo,
Good day,
eh?
stranger.
A young Orlan woman traces her fingers along the spine of the books in front of her, row by row, her motions quick and skittish like a bird. She does not notice you until you're nearly upon her. What do you do here? I mostly help Master Azo set up and clean his equipment. I also keep his office organized since he's too busy to do it himself. I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. Okay, you tell us about what's her face. Not stealing? Not stealing. Note from Azo Ripley. I require more copper tubing for my next experiment. Do not requisition it from the sanitarium stores. I don't have the time to deal with the head warden's inevitable questions. Doesn't sound suspicious at all, buddy. Does not sound suspicious at all. Sanitarium guards. I can't assume I can't go in here, right? Yeah. Yeah, cool. Let's go into this office too while we're here. Modred. He's trying to turn a... Shit. I didn't realize it was stealing. Whoops. Whoops.
Gods keep you.
Can I help you? What are you working on? My area focuses witches, most specifically how to cure them. What's a witch? A Hollowborn who received transplanted animal soul during infancy. One of Animancy's early efforts to cure the legacy, if not a successful one. They show signs of developmental abnormalities throughout their childhood. When they reach adolescence, they become aggressive, feral, but still victims in need of care. Transplanting animal souls into children seems like an odd solution. We, animators, are trying to do something about the crisis, better than letting it swallow a generation of children. And despite the controversy, it only went so far because at first it seemed to work. People called it the salvation. Children that had never been responsive to any kind of stimuli suddenly seemed aware of their surroundings, of their families. Complications don't begin until puberty, but that's when the incompatibilities between body and soul take place. Children become violent, ravenous, but we pay dearly for our mistake, I promise you. Angry mobs hunted down animators and burned down their homes, with them still inside, often as not. Why do you study wishes? What kind of question is that? Just think of all the families that could be healed, the lives that could be restored. What could be more important? Animanti has an answer here, I know it. It's simply a matter of working it out. I see. Looking for an X-Men Awakenings. Just looking around. Yeah, sorry, I got caught stealing from you. My bad. Is this... Oh? Oh?
Hail and well met.
That is suspicious. That is suspicious. That is suspicious. That is suspicious. I don't think it's Azo. I think Azo is a red herring. I think it might be Modred. Because he sounds like he might be doing something for the right reasons, but he's like working for the bad guys, you know what I'm
Gods keep you.
saying? Found records that Azo might be running some questionable experiments. Experiments? Cadman Ezo is in charge of patient welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. I am disappointed in Cademan. I hope you'll be the one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in the office or in the patient's ward. I'm granting you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you'll wish to speak to him further on this matter, and I, for one, am curious as to what he might say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are a few dangerous cases. I would ask also that you do not best to agitate the patients. They have enough trouble. Right, so the north ward was that locked door.
Got it.
I don't know this modern guy though. This Modren. That chest is suspicious. All gentlemen, thank you. Right, I'm not gonna talk to anyone. Are you a patient? Do you know where I might find Azo? Any patients been acting usually? Yep. Okay, why are you in here? I don't want to say you'll think less of me. When you blush, it brings out the color of your eyes. I've been kind to me. They've been kind to anyone, really. I lost my husband and both boys in the same school. My daughter, the legacy, took it before she was ever mine. I made do. What else can you do? I moved into a tiny place in Honor's gift, got by mending clothes and on the kindness of strangers when I had to, but I was surviving and the gods were watching over me. I could live with that. Then one day, this noble woman comes in, wants his fancy gown fixed. Gorgeous thing, the shade of blue I'd never seen before. Only I had. I looked at it, it reminded me of something. I had what they call an awakening. I remembered being a noblewoman myself in another life. People doting over me, men doting over me, me. The best food, the most beautiful home, all the things you'd never dare to dream of, they were mine. It was poison knowing that. All those things I had that I'd never have in this life. It did something to me. My food started to taste rotten. The walls of my little room seemed to close in around me. I stopped being able to sleep in my own bed. So I came here. Wow. Maybe we could think again one day. If not in this life, then in another. What do you know about him? I like it very much. Many animators could care less about their patients, look at us like vermin for their experiments, but Master Azo treats us like humans, even the very sick. You can tell he does this to help people. He's helped me understand a great deal about myself, and I know he's done the same for others. It's too bad what they did to him. He hides it well, but I know he's still affected by it. What happened to him? They don't like to talk to it. There was an accident. He was said to be one of the brightest in Deerwood. His reputation here, and that was what brought me to seek treatment. People say it was the ego that drove him to try and solve the legacy. That's hogwash. Even he was a bit of a showman. He loved his homeland. He thought he could help. He wasn't the one to speak of his work. Suspected his colleague might have tried to steal it. He once told me that he had figured out a way to create a soul. No soul exactly, mind you. How did he put it? Proxy, I think he called it. Had a machine that drew energy out of the very ether. Can you imagine? Point is, if it was going to help with the legacy, it was going to make Hollowborn into something easy to love and care for. Gods know that's something we need. Do you know what they call those empty little babies in Hunter's Gift? No, tell me. They call them boys because so many of them found floating face down in the water. These are mad times. That's hectic. Anyway, Master Azo had scheduled a public demonstration of Uncle Lane. He was so excited. And then the next day, he was locked in his office, turning away visitors. I heard, and he stopped seeing patients. I don't know exactly what happened, and I don't have the heart to ask him, but I'm glad they're letting him treat people again. Leave the patients alone. I do not fuck with the patients. I also don't like flesh constructs. That sounds like a nasty thing. Is this his office? Need the right key. Can you talk to the flesh construct? No visitors. Watches me warily. Again, I don't enjoy that in the slightest. Again, avoiding patients like the plague, because I don't want to have to fight fucking crazy people. Patient. Okay. What's in here? Admin Azu, I presume. The round-faced, balding man turns to face you. His upper lip is pulled up slightly by his pointed nose, exposing his upper teeth when he scowls.
What is the meaning of this?
I'd like access to Northwood. I've seen your records. I know what you're doing with them.
My
Awful.
answer is no. Whatever you're looking for, those patients will not be able to help you. The head warden will stand
Ethelmere
by
told
them,
me
of
you're not supposed
course.
to be doing any more experiments. Yes, well, Ethelmere hasn't done much good for anybody since its soul moved to an inanimate object, so I fail to see why I should let that sway me. If animators all followed the commands of their leaders, where would we be? We'd all be as backwards and willingly ignorant as Redcerus. We would know nothing about life or death, or even ourselves. We'd be lost in the dark with no clue as to why. Our leaders guide us, and without them we risk losing our way. If this man would strike off on his own, then let him fend for himself without the benefit of the sanitarium. You toy things beyond our comprehension. It's dangerous
Are
and
you from
foolish.
Rayed Ceres? Are you Widewen himself? Who will solve Widewen's legacy? Some church? Some warrior?
Oh,
It
yep,
will
fair.
be an animancer,
I've
or
tried
it will be no
experiments
one
on
at
any
all.
other subjects. Now that Ethan was involved, I asked for volunteers from our patients, and a few brave souls came forward. I was very close at one time to break through. They understood that. They understood their sacrifices would mean something. How did that happen? Not of your concern, did one of the others put you up to this? Ordmere, that smug weasel? Things went wrong. Everything. I don't know how. I'll never know. Looking for an expert on awakenings. Okay, farewell. Well, sir, that was not helpful in the slightest. But also, I kind of don't think... Hmm. I don't know, man. You're a sus dude. What do you want me to say? Alright, where else we gotta go? There's rooms around this side too. So that was Freyol.
Hail, traveler.
Maybe I did that conversation wrong. Stealing? Nope. Also lockpicks though, which means implies to me that something is to be picked. It's like giving me a little like maybe there's a lock you can pick somewhere. And I'll be like, oh, maybe there is. Just got another room. Now this is stealing, however. Do you see anyone in here? I don't. That door just slammed. That was fucking scary. I don't
Nice
see
and
anyone in here,
quiet.
but I will go into scouting to steal. What's this? Scroll of protection and some gold. Damn it, I was hoping there'd be like something in this room just to be like, hey, here's the answer. I suppose these kind of games, it's really not that simple of, yeah, this is the answer, here you go. Hey buddy, what's the deal? In that cell back there, we've had some incidents where people got close. Oh, that sounds terrifying. I love it. Right, why is there no visitors? Could you tell me? North Ward restrictard. Alright, that's fine. There's got to be a way into the North Ward. And I would imagine it comes from
Following
looking...
your lead.
Nope. I haven't,
As you
no.
say.
Actually, how would I visit
Well
the
met,
North Ward?
friend.
Visit the North Ward. Just Master ISO. Right. I think we're just gonna have to fucking steal from the cunt. Yep. This
Good day, stranger.
just looking around. Need to find the key. I wonder where the key is then. I kind of just hold tab as I run around just to see if I can get stuff. Right, is there anything else I can get?
What is it now?
I've seen your records. I know what you're
Those
doing with
are
them.
private. Fine. Speak to them for all the good it'll do you. I'm sure that...
Excellent. It was something about like a tall, skinny man or some shit, right? This is my face. Tell me that's not my face. Alright, yeah, you're insane. I mean, you're all kind of insane, I suppose, but...
Got it.
Thundering sky, rain of blood, innocence must drown. Well, we don't love that. Not big fans. I'm not a big fan of the drowning of innocent people, usually. The man has a look in his eyes of a hunted animal, and on your approach, he staggers barefoot to the far corner of his cell, halfway appearing as though he would climb the walls. He cries out, a bizarre, primal utterance like something you've never heard. I just need to ask some questions. Graham looks at you blankly. It is unclear whether he understands you or not, but his panic has momentarily subsided. He opens his mouth to speak, but the words come out are half-formed, as though his tongue were cut out. They are impossible for you to discern, if they are indeed words at all. I don't think he can speak anymore. Not in words, at least. This is monstrous. Freyr said you're being treated by Cadman Azo. He looks at you with uncertainty, slowly, tentatively, steps closer to the front of his cell. As he does so for the first time, you can perceive his soul within your ken. It is misshapen as though made by some jagged instrument, and large expanses of it have been gouged out entirely. If you want to, you could look further. Oh, let's peer. You're in your cell, a key turns, the door creaks open on neglected hinges. Thoughts come to you in waves, incomplete, broken, fearful. Standing at the door is a rotund, balding man. His upper teeth and pointy nose remind you of a rat. He beckons, apologetic. You don't want to go. Anything else. In your mind is a single word, and the word is no, but it dissolves before it reaches your lips. You press against the back wall, concerned. You cry out. In darkness, you fight against unseen restraints. You cannot move your arms or legs. The man walks into the room carrying a lit candle, its meager flame casting long shadows across books and machinery. Straps bind your arms and legs. Cold metal circumscribes the crown of your head and the breadth of your chest. The man is sorry. He is in need of raw materials. They dismantle his work and he needs another source. He needs to show them he was right. He thanks you. Then he turns the knob and you feel it like you've been cracked from within. You can feel pieces of you torn away, like having your insides chewed by a horde of rats, and you are screaming a scream you can barely hear. Fuck, keep going. Another night, heavy footsteps outside your door coming for you. You look through a slit in your door. The flesh giant, the artificial being just outside, but facing left, facing at the end of the hall. The boy there. The boy looks with interest at the giant, then collapses to the floor like shed snakeskin. The giant convulses for a moment, then rights itself, turns away, and leaves. Decouple from Graham's soul. Thanks, buddy. You have just very much helped me, sir. Patient at the end of the
These
hall.
poor people. This isn't the treatment that they were promised upstairs by the...
I
Is
know.
that the cure for soul sickness? To be thrown into a cell and subjected to the whims of your captor?
Animators are as mad as their patients. But if all were treated like this, Sanitarium would never survive. What do these patients do warrant such conditions? Yeah, I don't have that. I hope so. You're probably right. It's just hard to see. Let's be on our way. This place gnaws at the soul. I feel like it definitely does. A willowy adolescent boy stands in the center of his cell, gawkish and stoop-shouldered. He stares straight ahead. The occasional blink is his only movement. It is unclear whether he registers your presence at all behind his glassy, doll-like eyes. In a state, the barriers between your soul and his are thin and porous, easily bypassed if you should wish it. Let's go again. You close your eyes and edge forward toward the boy's soul. As you near, a sudden malaise comes over you. You're cold and warm all at once, sweating and shivering and straining for breath, as you did on the caravan journey. The soul you approach is the wrong one, a parasitic plant that strangles its host. It is predatory and pitiless, and you've crossed paths with it before. Too late does it occur to you to retract, but already you feel yourself plunging some interminable turn of thought, interminable abyss of thought and memory. Fuck. You are standing in a cell now, the same cell in the sanitarium. The halls are moonlit and empty, and you are waiting. Far into the ward, the door opens, revealing a flesh golem in silhouette beneath a stone archway. It makes its usual rounds, the same stops every time, the misbegotten child of despondent creators. When the construct is close, you coil yourself up and spring forward, passing out of the boy's body as though it were a membrane. You can sense his body behind you collapsing to the floor. A puppet whose strings are cut. You are now rushing towards the golem now, bodiless as a gust of wind. Quickly, you think to yourself, quickly, and you feel the strength hemorrhaging from your soul as you dart towards the makeshift abomination. You pass into the golem shell and overtake the soul implanted within, encircling it, suppressing it, and contained in this new vessel, you are strong again. You step heavy-footed down the corridor, unhealed by the other constructs, and scrutinized only by the wary, untrustworthy eyes of the mad, coming at last to an office piled with books and scribbled papers and the perverse implements of animancy. You set your oversized hands upon a large machine, a nest of globes and tubes and coils in the center of the room, and go to work, bending wires and unsettling alignments. Your surroundings are pulled past you, or perhaps you are pulled past them, and they dissolve into a blur. When they settle into place again, you are outside on a clear day, standing in front of a crowd stacked high above you on the tiered seats of an amphitheater. You are acting for the crowd, standing deliberately still, but this is no play. A balding man with rodent-like features is strapping you to a machine, the one you had tampered with. You see your arms for the first time, short and fleshy, unmistakably those of a little girl, but this body is not truly yours. Your mind still holds the same determination, the same hard-heartedness as before. The body itself is cold and vacuous. Unlike the others, this one has no soul of its own. The man speaks, and the crowd applauds with enthusiasm worthy of a hero's entrance. Bear witness, he says, and he pulls the lever. The machine shivers and sparks, and a bead of sweat rolls down the side of the man's brow. The crowd's apprehension quickly gives way to awe as a crystal globe fills with a radiant mist that casts the entire theater aglow. He opens a valve, and the globe crawls through a tube along a length of copper wiring that runs to a set of electrodes beneath your armpits. You feel nothing when it reaches you, as it should be, for you have been leading his work astray periodically for some time, altering notes and settings and playing puppeteer for Hollowborn, but you make it look how people would expect it to look when a body is infused with a soul. In a moment, the machine goes dark, and the man unstraps you, eyeing you with a scientist's concern. He looks back up at the crowd. Behold, he says. There is an obvious hesitation in his voice. Slowly, you take a plodding step forward, then another, and another. You look up at the man, giving him the eye contact of which no Hollowborn is capable, and the crowd gasps. The man looks relieved. How do you feel? He asks at a volume meant for the crowd, and this is the moment. At the top of your lungs, you let out a piercing shriek. The man comes towards you, his hands outstretched, but you run the other way, back to the machine. With all your strength, you drive your head into the crystal globe, and it shatters, striking your head with warm blood. You drive your head down onto the surface of the machine again and again, drawing panicked screams from the crowd. And by the time the man reaches you, your body's already ceased proper function and merely twitches on the ground. Satisfied, you depart the corpse in search of another unsuspecting host who could put their faith in animancy now? Fuck me. You're pulled again from your surroundings, transcending the boundaries of memories and lifetimes, deeper and deeper past betrayals and murders and lies upon lies that form the thick webbing of plots beyond mortal comprehension. You settle at last on a room you've seen before, expansive, with a tall device encasing an Adra monolith at the center. The room is filled with people, and the people all look at the device. You are yanked, suddenly, back to reality, and the once catatonic boy in a cell is looking directly at you, appraising, calculating. There is no mistaking now that this is the soul of the man who caused your awakening, that gazed out from that borrowed husk. You made me a watcher. I need you to undo it. Is that so? He makes no effort to hide his disinterest, but he continues to search your eyes. He makes a slight grunting noise, and his eyes soften for an instant. It seems, for that moment, that he recognizes you. He opens his mouth to speak, then seems to think better of what he was about to say. His jaw tightens. I know your look. You hunger. Hunger for answers that elude you. It gnaws at your soul. It absurds your reason for being. You are like everyone. I will help you let go. He dodges backward with startling grace, putting himself out of reach. On his face there is no malice, only this passion of a farmer putting down a sick animal. Then suddenly, he slumps forward. Oh, okay. Well, that was me. Okay, well. Well, this is gonna be, difficult. Well, that sucks, assholes. Okay.
Ready, Watcher.
Right. Can hit flesh construct with a wounded shot. Kana, you're getting up here with the flesh construct. Why do I have to fight Graham? He
How may I help?
was just like we were just buds right for a second, though, right?
Following your lead.
Attack flesh construct.
I'm here.
Sagani, pass the flesh construct. Alright, what's everyone doing over here? Okay, everyone's just kind of doing their thing, hey?
Hi.
Aloth. I think, now might be the time, my boy. Now might be the time. Flame on! Well, that did not do as much as I would have wanted. Alright, Liana, heal yourself with a second wind.
Ready, Watcher.
How you doing over here? Not doing fantastic, bud. Not doing great. Alright, what if we summon some skellies just to take the heat off? Alright, get the skellies, take some heat off. Sagani, if you can get this crazed patient out of the way. Fuck. Alright, don't worry then. Don't worry about what I was just saying then.
My bow's ready.
Oh, come on. Where's the fairness in that? Fuck me, we're gonna get caught in an infinite death loop. Oh, do I have to... Was that really the last time it was? That's annoying.
Got it.
So how much of that do I have to do again? If it's fucking all of it, I will not be happy. No, it's absolutely fucking all of it. Of course it is. Yep, okay. Okay, so we figured that out. Infogram in the North Ward. Okay, so I can go to the North Ward then. Sweet, we're good then. What? Oh, right, I have to go talk to what's his nips. Where was his office? Like, down, like, here-ish? Or his lab or whatever? Maybe I will still steal from him, just to see what I can find. Alright, I'll have to properly prepare for a actual, like, battle right now. Oh, that's Mo Dread, more problems? That's the laboratory over here. Over here, you're allowed in this place. You've gone there before. You guys aren't going to go there, I guess, because you are seemingly fucking stuck. Guys, what are you fucking on, guys? Seriously. Some adventuring party you fucking are. Alright, Mo Dread, more pro, less, no, Cabin ESO. Alright, well, it looks like we're
What
going to
is
have
the
to
meaning of
redo
this?
all of this again. So I think we're just going to end the video here, and then next time I'll just do all this again, and then next time we will hop back in right again at the start of the battle. Okay? But, however, thank you everyone so much for watching. I am Gig-Tigz, husband, father, streamer, legend. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Any other CRPGs or like these sort of style games you want to see me try out, please do let me know. I'm very interested to play more CRPGs. So far, the ones I'm thinking of are Baldur's Gate games. So Pillars of Eternity first, then Baldur's Gate, Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, Pathfinder Kingmaker, Pathfinder Path of the Righteous, or Wrath of the Righteous, whatever that one's called. But yeah, so I do have all these games lined up for the future. So don't forget to just subscribe and follow along if you find these sorts of games and videos interesting. But once again, don't forget to join the crew live over at twitch.tv/gig_tigz. Follow me on TikTok at Gig-Tigz. And I will see you guys on the next video. Gig-Tigz.